Do you want to talk about how we're living tiny today?
How we're living tiny? It's not going to be too tiny for long if you keep modifying things the way you do.
Do you want to talk about living tiny today? You want to talk about us living tiny?
Look,
Do you want to talk about us living tiny? Hello, everybody. I'm Jamie.
I'm Jared.
We are at the Worthy Homestead. At least we are trying to make a homestead. Say something.
We live in tiny small space.
Oh my god.
We live in a tiny
So we want to make
space.
this video so we can tell everybody. Honestly, all of our subscribers already know us, probably. So they might already know that we are living tiny, or what you'd say is living tiny. Living in a space that's like less than 300 square feet with 3 children and a dog.
And we love it. Love it. Love every bit of it.
I love it. I think Jared tolerates it.
I love it.
Why did we choose to live tiny?
Save money.
To save money. That was a big one. We were gonna move, and looking at, just renting a place that would be big enough for our family was minimum, like crappy neighborhood, $1,200 a month. So I came up with this idea of, why don't we take our money that we do have and buy a camp trailer, and then ask some wonderful people we know if we can park it on their property. And those wonderful people are my parents, and of course they said yes. So we decided to live tiny, obviously to save money. We got a really good space rent deal happening because my parents love us so much, and we can now save money for our future house. That is the plan. But I am really liking living tiny, and not having some big mortgage is looking really appealing to me. But I'm not the only one in the family. I think I did want to touch base on what we have accomplished by living tiny, which is we are completely debt free. So we used most of our money. We paid for our trailer, our camp trailer, and we moved into it. And since then we have paid off all of our, I'd say, debt, because it was debt. Everything in collections. So if you don't know, you probably already know, we are in recovery, and usually before somebody gets into recovery, they really screw up their credit. What? That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
You wouldn't know because you didn't look at your credit report, but I did.
You're right. I'm not saying anything.
But usually before somebody gets into recovery, there's a lot of things into collections. There's, I'm not explaining everything that could go wrong on somebody's credit report by being in active addiction. So since we both were, and got into recovery, we decided to tackle that and see if we could help our credit score, because we'd never be able to buy a house without fixing our credit history. And so we did that. We paid everything off. I've said a few times that I am way more of the one who wanted to live tiny, willing to live tiny, could totally live tiny for the rest of my life. Jared, on the other hand, I feel like is would love a normal house. So we did.
I'm happy if you're happy.
Well, I'm only happy if you're happy. So we got Jared a shed. We got him a shed. We call it the man cave, and that's what the kids seem to like to call it. It's
where the kids
his.
like to go and be.
It's his, his own spot where he can go, and it's like a workout room slash living room slash storage. So if anybody needs a break, we do have the man cave that we can all escape to if we need to. Oh, so the best part about where we live, about living tiny, is I get to do it at my childhood home, the childhood property I grew up at. My parents own 20 acres, and we get to let our kids run free, and we don't bother any neighbors because there aren't any, and we don't have to worry about our kids hitting a baseball in somebody's window unless it's Papa Terry's window. And we live, it's just right across the driveway from my parents, which I think is extremely important because I love the thought of the multi-generational property where everybody's there, everyone is taking on the responsibilities of the property, everyone's taking on the responsibilities of helping raise the children to be good little human beings, because it's a lot for parents nowadays when both parents generally have to work. It's nice being able to have, a babysitter when you need one in a pinch right across the driveway. I love living next to my parents, and I wouldn't permanently build a tiny house right there.
Jump on a tutu.
But we'll see. So, Jared, why do you like living tiny? Wait, what's the best thing about living tiny? Because I don't think you like it.
Because you get to be closer to your family. Physically. Literally.
Very.
Super close. Like so much closer
No, it's yours.
than normally.
Not yours.
You get and you have
Oh,
kids.
thank you.
Thanks. No.
So much closer to the kids. It's our favorite part. I like being closer to the kids, and honestly though, I mean, we seem to, obviously they definitely get on our nerves. I feel like quicker. What?
It's not. I think the worst part about it is the fact that they don't have their own rooms, and they're getting older. And honestly, I don't think I'd care living small for as long as Jamie wanted to. As long as if our kids would stop growing for a while. If they stop growing, then we probably wouldn't have a
How
problem.
come you get money?
Especially when there's 2 boys and 1 girl. Sometimes 2 girls,
You get so much points.
2 boys.
Yeah, sometimes there's 4 of them, and
You're so close to getting
none of them get along. Yes, we are practicing patience every single day.
this unicorn.
I'm gonna pick the color
No!
for the unicorn.
Dad, it's done.
So instead of coloring in a book,
Coloring's a better
she's
way.
coloring on her
That's the
tablet.
future. It's the
I
future.
guess you don't lose crayons that way. You don't have to sharpen
everywhere
colored
I go.
pencils.
I never
You
thought
don't
that.
run out of markers.
That's
Can I see it?
the best way, right?
I guess.
My
the best
chocolate
way.
drizzle cake.
For us, because
Move.
then we don't
For
have to
us.
clean up, because we don't have to spend
Look,
30
someone
minutes
else can
cleaning
follow
out their
me
toy
over
box
where I
with
go.
crayons and cards, puzzle
You're not
pieces, and all the
bringing
random
And
stuff.
all
I do.
the
Go.
crayons.
Welcome, by the way.
No,